Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something I think we all grapple with, right? Why is it so hard to stick to those big goals we set?
Yeah, those New Year's resolutions that kind of fade by February.
Exactly. But what if the secret isn't huge effort, but like really tiny changes? That's what we're exploring today, digging into James Clear's brilliant book, Atomic Habits.
hmm And our goal here isn't just to, summarize the book. It's to really get under the hood.
Right.
How do our minds, our environments actually shape what we do every day? We're talking about building real systems for change, not just wishful thinking.
Okay, so our mission for you listening is pretty straightforward. We want to pull out the absolute key insights from Atomic Habits. Think of it as your cheat sheet to understanding how to build habits that actually last.
It starts with a really mind-bending idea from Clear.
Oh yeah, the 1% thing. He says, what if you just got 1% better each day? Seems tiny, right?
Almost nothing.
But do that for a year, and you're not just a bit better. You're what, 37 times better? It totally reframes how you think about progress and consistency.
It really does. It's that compounding effect. Small, consistent effort just blows sporadic, massive effort out of the water over time.
It's huge.
That slow burn leads to incredible results. And we're going to unpack the how. How do you actually do that?
So Clear gives us a framework, a really practical one. He calls them the 4 laws of behavior change. This is basically the roadmap.
Yep, for building good habits and for getting rid of the bad ones too.
Okay, law number 1, make it obvious. This seems, well, obvious, but it's about the cues, right? Making the trigger for your habit impossible to ignore.
Exactly. It's about designing your environment. Clear uses the example, I will walk for 10 minutes after drinking my morning tea.
Ah, so you're linking it. You finish the tea, that's the cue, bam, you walk. It's automatic.
You're piggybacking on an existing routine. It takes the thinking out of it.
So for you listening, how can you make the cues for the habits you want just unmissable in your space?
Yeah, and it works because our brains love the easy path. If the cue is right there, you don't have to spend mental energy deciding to start. You just do it. Trigger association is powerful stuff.
Okay, that leads nicely into law number 2. Make it attractive. This one's kind of fun. It's about making the habit appealing.
Yeah, this is where temptation bundling comes in.
Right. Linking something you have to do with something you really want to do,
Mm.
like Clear's example. I will only listen to my favorite podcast while I'm working out.
Yeah. You're basically hacking your motivation. You start looking forward to the workout because you get the podcast.
So it uses the brain's reward system.
Precisely. You associate the habit with pleasure, your brain anticipates that reward, which makes the whole thing feel less like a chore and more like, well, something you actually want to do. Increases the odds you'll repeat it big time.
Makes sense. Okay, law 3, make it easy. This one feels crucial for actually getting started, especially when you're just not feeling it.
Oh, absolutely. Inertia is a killer.
And Clear's big idea here is the 2-minute rule. Just start the habit, but only commit to doing it for 2 minutes.
Yeah. Want to read more? Just open the book and read for 2 minutes. Want to exercise? Just put on your running shoes.
It seems almost too simple, but why does that work so well psychologically? It feels like it bypasses the overwhelm.
That's exactly it. You're lowering the barrier to entry so much it feels like trivial. The goal shifts from run 5 miles to just put on shoes.
Oh, okay.
Anyone can do that. And the magic is once you've started, even for 2 minutes, you've built momentum, you've kind of proven to yourself you can do it. Often that's enough to keep you going for longer. It's about making the start incredibly simple.
Reducing that initial friction. Got it. Okay, final law, number 4. Make it satisfying. Habits need to feel good, right? Or your brain won't want to repeat them.
Bingo! We repeat what feels good. So the key is immediate reinforcement. Give yourself a small win, a little reward right after you do the habit.
But what about habits where the payoff is, like way down the road? Saving money, for instance. That doesn't feel immediately satisfying.
Great question. That's where you have to be clever and create an artificial immediate reward.
Okay, like how?
Maybe track your progress visually. Seeing a chart fill up can be satisfying. Or, like we mentioned, maybe after you transfer money to savings, you allow yourself 5 minutes of guilt-free social media or listen to one favorite song. Something small, immediate, that your brain links to the saving action.
Ah, bridging the gap until the long-term reward kicks in.
Exactly. You need that immediate positive feedback loop to cement the behavior now.
Okay, those 4 laws give us a great toolkit. But let's zoom in on how habits actually work underneath it all. You mentioned the habit loop earlier.
Yeah. Clear breaks down every habit, good or bad, into this four-step pattern. Understanding it is key to changing anything.
Lay it out for us.
Okay, so first, there's the signal. That's the trigger, the cue. Could be a time, a place, an emotion.
Like the phone buzzing.
Perfect example. Then comes the craving. That's the motivation, the desire for the reward the habit delivers. You don't crave checking your phone, you crave the potential information or connection it brings.
Like the feeling you get.
Then the response. That's the actual habit itself, picking up the phone, scrolling.
Right.
And finally, the reward. The satisfaction you get finding that interesting post, getting a notification. That reward tells your brain, hey, that worked. Let's remember this loop for next time.
Signal, craving, response, reward. Okay. So knowing that loop, how do we use it to break the habits we don't want? How do we reverse engineer this?
You basically invert the 4 laws we just talked about. You want to make the bad habit. 1, invisible. Get rid of the cues.
Hide the cookies.
Exactly. If the cue isn't there, the loop often doesn't even start. 2, make it unattractive. Focus on the downsides, the negative consequences. Remind yourself why you want to stop.
Okay.
3, make it difficult. Add friction. If you waste time on certain apps, delete them. Make it harder to actually do the habit.
Increase the effort required.
Yep. And 4, make it unsatisfying. Remove the reward, or even add a small, immediate negative consequence. Maybe an accountability partner you have to report to.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Remove the triggers, reduce the appeal, add barriers, kill the reward.
And crucially, try to replace the bad habit with a good one that provides a similar reward if possible.
Now, there's another layer to this in the book that I found really profound. It's the idea of identity-based habits.
Ah, yes. This is, for me, maybe the most powerful concept.
It's this idea that changing your habits is easier if you first change how you see yourself. Changing your identity. Can you unpack that?
Yeah, so instead of focusing only on the outcome you want, I want to lose weight, or the process, I will go to the gym, you focus on your identity. I am a healthy person, or I am an athlete.
Okay.
Clears uses the smoking example. Instead of saying, I'm trying to quit smoking.
Which implies struggle.
Right. You say, I am not a smoker. It's a statement of identity. Or I am a runner, not I want to run.
And how does that change things practically?
Every time you perform a habit aligned with that identity, like choosing fruit instead of cake or going for that run, it becomes a vote reinforcing that identity. You're proving to yourself, yes, I am this kind of person.
Wow. Okay, so the behavior reinforces the belief, and the belief makes the behavior easier.
Exactly. It creates this positive feedback loop anchored in who you believe you are. It makes change feel less like a fight against yourself and more like just acting in alignment with who you are. It's incredibly powerful.
So wrapping this all up for everyone listening, the big takeaway really seems to be that massive success doesn't come from massive one-off actions.
Not usually, no. It comes from those tiny, consistent, almost invisible good habits stacking up day after day.
It's about building a system, not just chasing a goal.
Precisely. Get the system right, get those small habits working for you, and you set yourself on a trajectory where success becomes, well, almost inevitable over time. It's about the direction those tiny habits point you in.
It really comes back to that quote you mentioned from the book.
Yeah.
You become what you do daily.
That really is the essence of it, isn't it? Those small things, done consistently, compound into enormous results. So maybe take a moment to think about your own routines. Where could you find a 1% improvement? Just one small tweak.
Yeah, and maybe connected to that identity idea. As you think about your week, what if you picked just one tiny habit and approached it from an identity perspective?
Ooh, I like that.
Ask yourself, what does doing this tiny thing say about the person I'm becoming? Whether it's putting your shoes by the door or reading one page or drinking one glass of water, see if framing it that way shifts anything for you.
Because that's where real change starts, right?
Yeah.
With those small daily votes you cast for the person you want to be,